Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new in-shop video concerning the SU-130PM. And no, the beginning of this video is not to promote crates or anything, it's more to call out a little bit wargaming on something. They give us an SU-130PM, they put it in crates. I'm not gonna complain once again about crates because you already know all what I'm thinking about that. But they put it in crates and they don't even give you the legendary camouflage once you get the tank. At least they put charms, so you can spend more than 25 crates in order to get your tanks. It's still quite expensive, it's around 110 euros, something like this, which can be huge in pretty much all countries, but you have also to buy the legendary camouflage by yourself, and it's gonna cost you 1.5k gold. So it changes the name of the tank into SU-130PM Scarface. Do I like the camouflage? Not really, but as it was legendary and I really love the SU-130PM, I said fuck that and I bought it. But yeah, it still looks cool, but I like more historical camos rather than some kind of a weird design that the design team of World of Tanks Blitz come up with. But that's how it is. Now let's talk a little bit about the tank. I played only 2 games. I just want to show you the stats real quick. I played only 2 games, so it's a review I do when I'm hot about the tank, or I don't know, not horny, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the brand new heavy tank destroyer, the Russian one, at tier 8, and a lot of people are gonna compare it with the Scorpion G, which I can understand because the tanks are pretty similar. First thing first, we're gonna talk about the armor. You don't have any. Everything is gonna go through your armor. Just look at the armor you have. 30 millimeters at the front, 25 on the sides, 20 at the rear. Now, you are extremely weak to HE shells. And with this information, you already know what you have to do. You have to camp. And that's the main difference I think there is with the Scorpion G. With the Scorpion G, you also don't have armor and you have to camp. But with the Scorpion G, you can play a little bit more actively than the SU-130PM because the SU-130PM doesn't have a fully rotative turret. But yeah, we're gonna review the statistics one by one. So the hull, no armor at all. The gun, oh boy, the gun. Do I love this gun. That's pretty much the same as the one you have on the Scorpion G. 10.5 seconds of reload, 0.29 of gun dispersion, 2.6k damage per minute. Extremely great penetration, both with regular and gold shells. Extremely high alpha damage, 460. Good depression, good gun depression, good gun elevation. The gun is simply amazing, and oh boy do I love tanks having this kind of gun. That's why I'm loving the SU-130PM, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna see after in the games when I'm gonna talk about the tank. But yeah, overall the gun is extremely effective. You have a good gun depression, a good gun dispersion, a good gun penetration, a good gun alpha damage. There is nothing to throw on this gun. Now, let's talk a little bit about the rest. The engine, you all know that the tank got nerfed. It went from 65 forward speed to 50. It's not a problem. It's clearly not a problem. You're gonna be fast as hell anyway, regardless. And I'm glad Wargaming nerfed it because I already think that the tank is broken without with the nerf, so I can't imagine how it was before the buff, before the nerf. So yeah, even if it says average speed 37, you're gonna go a lot of times at 45-50 kilometers per hour. And the hull traverse speed is extremely good as well. You have an amazing mobility, no armor, and an amazing gun. That's all you need to know about this tank. Now, there is something I need to insist on. It's in crates, which means you can get it for $2 like it's my case, or you can get it for 110 euros if you're really unlucky. That's too much. That's too much. 110 euros for that, that's too much, especially if you have the Scorpion G. Now, I'm gonna answer to this question right away. Is the tank worth it if you already have the Scorpion G? I don't think it is. It's not worth it. You would rather drive a Scorpion G than the SU-130PM because the Scorpion G has it has similar statistics, but at least it has a fully rotative turret. Because this one has a turret that will go this way, maximum, here and here. So if someone circles you from the back, you are fucked, which is not the case of the Scorpion G. That's it pretty much. I don't really know what I can talk about concerning the tank. Maybe if I forgot something, I'm gonna talk about it during the review. Now, how am I equipping the tank? For the provisions, same as always, the three last one, as I always do. Maybe something I don't like about the tank is the lack of ammunition. You only have 30 ammos, which is not a lot to carry. I go for 20 APs, 8 APCRs, heat shells, sorry, and you're not gonna use a lot of heat shells, not gonna lie, and high explosive. Now, concerning the equipment, it's simple. You go for the gun rammer because you don't need to get better penetration because your penetration is already OP. An enhanced gun laying drive to reduce the aiming time, and finally the refined gun because I'm gonna try some snapshots. I like snapshotting with my tanks. I would rather have a better gun dispersion than an actually good aiming time. After, I go for the defense system because without armor you're not gonna ram anything. I go for the improved assembly because I don't have armor, so I don't need to strengthen it. I go for the toolbox to repair faster. Camonet, because with this tank you're forced to camp. It's the playstyle, you don't have the choice, so I don't go for the improved optics, which is quite rare, especially on tank destroyers. Usually I go for improved optics, but here I go for Camonet. Finally, engine accelerator, because overall your mobility is already great, so why not improve it a little bit more. And finally, high-hand consumables to be able to shoot twice when I use adrenaline. That's how I'm using the tank. Let's not lose too much time now and jump directly into the replay to see what this beast is all about. So, concerning the first game, we are gonna go straight to the top of the map because going in town with this kind of tank is suicidal, because with the armor, you're not gonna bounce anything. You need to get not in close range, you need to be middle range or long distance with your targets, or else they're gonna spot you, and as soon as you're spotted, you're gonna get destroyed. So I would rather go to the top of the map, but I see, based on my minimap, that my team is not following. They are splitting, and as they are splitting, we need to play it carefully. So I take a long distance position, a sniper position, in order for me to get my shots done without being spotted and without taking any risks of them being able to push me. This is the perfect position here, because if they spot me, I can just go back and I'm safe, and if they don't spot me, I can still see them and burst some shots. First shot on the T-23-3, 465. Ooh, oh, sorry, and 465. Now we focus a little bit on the Panta. I go for an HE because I know the tank is quite weak on the sides and I have a good penetration. My shell went through 600. We already did 1000 damage in the first minute of the game. This tank is simply a beast, and it requires skill. It requires skill because you need to have map knowledge, you need to have map awareness, you need to know how to play your not armored tanks. If you have good stats with the Scorpion, it could be a good idea to take it if you have money to spend, of course. If you don't get it, it's useless. And yeah, pretty much I don't need to be an active player. It's really a passive playstyle concerning this tank. You don't push, you wait for your enemies to push your team, and as soon as they shoot, you go and you try to get your shots done. That's all you have to do. It's the only playstyle fitting the tank at the moment. Maybe if I find some other playstyle, I'm gonna try to do another review of the tank, but for the moment that's what fits the best the tank. At least that's what I think it does, because I did an ace tanker doing that. So yeah, we see the lover. Lover is actually trying to hit us. He went through. I'm glad that it's the beginning of the tank, because usually people know when they have to shoot HE. If you take a Scorpion G, everybody's gonna shoot HE at you. With the SU-130PM, not everybody's gonna do that, because not everybody knows you don't have any armor. So that's a cool point. That's a pretty cool point. Maybe cool enough to be noticed. And now, see, we are in trouble. Now we have to go into the town. And I already told you at the beginning of the replay, the town is not fitting this tank at all. So even if you're in town, you need to find positions where you can both snipe and escape if necessary. That's what I'm about to do. I take long distance. If I was in a Scorpion G, maybe I would have tried to get straight into the map, but here no, that's not a good idea. I go for a first shot on the SU-130PM, SU-130PM T28 prototype, sorry. And now I'm waiting. I know I'm spotted, but I'm gonna try my luck anyway on the WZ-1110 that really wants to kill me. He's focused on me. He's trying to get me. I still have HP, so I can still take one more shots if he doesn't shoot HE, and I'm gonna pray for him not to shoot HE in order for me to be able to destroy it. But I have my team coming back with me, so it shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to get a shot done. I go for a first shot, of course. In a snapshot, the WZ-1110 puts his shot because, as I already told you, you don't have armor. But it's not a problem. I'm gonna be able to reload before he comes around the corner, securing my kill. That was it for the first replay. And now let's analyze a little bit the credit coefficient, which is great with this tank. Look at this. I did 4.3k damage, which is not hard to do with this tank regarding the amazing gun you have. And I did 19,000 credits. It's a really golden shower of credits with this tank, and it's just simply incredible. And now I know it's a new tank and you want an ace tanker, and the more replays you have, the better it is for you to know if you want to gamble or not in order to get the tank. So we go for the second replay. And I love that replay, and I'm really glad I did an ace tanker on this one, being able to show you on the video how to play it, because I think this replay is the perfect example on how you want to play your tank. We are gonna analyze it in 3 different steps. The first step is I'm gonna camp and wait for my team to spot for me, because that's what you're supposed to do with the SU-130PM. You don't have the choice. That's what the tank is all about. So here I'm taking my distances. I have an amazing gun with an amazing accuracy, so I just need to snipe, and you're gonna see it's gonna be pretty devastating for the enemy team. We are gonna burst them again and again and again and again, and they don't see me. As I already told you, I have my camouflage activated. I also have one of the greatest camo ratings at tier 8. So yeah, from here I'm invisible for them. And that's, even if it feels unfair for the enemy team, and I would have been the first one to rage if I was the enemy team, saying fuck you SU-130PM, go camp somewhere else, which I totally agree. I'm camping with the tank, but that's the only playstyle you can adopt with it. You can't try to push, you can't try this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just using my great gun accuracy, and look at this, it's working perfectly. We can sneak shots on every single one of them in just every 10 seconds, because I gotta say, you have an amazing reload time as well. Everything is perfect on this tank. What I love is probably the fact that it's one of the few tanks in the game that requires a huge amount of skill to be effective. And even if the tank is broken, yes, it's my opinion, this tank is completely broken. It's broken only in the hands of a good player. If you're an average player, don't get yourself an SU-130PM, you're gonna get completely wrecked. It's a tank for confident player only, and the fact that it's for pro players only is a good factor, because it will decrease the number of people complaining about the tank itself in the game. It's not like a smasher, for example. A smasher, you can take your smasher, even if you're a bot, you can still ruin games. With the SU-130PM, if you're not a good player, you don't know where to place yourself, you don't know what to do with the tank, you're gonna die in the first one of your team, and nobody's gonna complain that your tank is broken. But if you're a pro player, you're gonna wreck everybody, like it's the case in this game. They can't do anything against me, they don't spot me. And yeah, pretty much, in the first beginning of the game, I was in the back trying to get shots. Now I'm trying to play a little bit more aggressively because I want to get my shots done, and I know they have a lot of low HP tanks. I go for the Shiri, and here the VK knows. The VK knows he has to shoot HE, and he did. And you don't even have to aim on this tank in order to destroy everything with HE. You just snapshot, it goes in, and you're gonna be 100% sure that your HE shell is gonna penetrate. So really be careful while using the SU-130PM. Maybe a good advice I could give you concerning this tank is probably, when you're playing it, always remember the alpha damage of the tank in front of you with HE. If he can one-shot you with HE, don't try to poke. If he can't one-shot you with HE, go for a poke. That's what I do with my SU-130PM. If I don't do that, I'm gonna get destroyed quite easily, because everybody soon is gonna know about the lack of armor and is gonna penetrate you with HE only. That's the end word. Just look at the credit coefficient one more time because, oh boy, is it something juicy. You're making a shit ton of credits with this tank. That's what I love. I'm not gonna complain. I got myself the tank for a quite cheap amount, but don't gamble. I know it sounds hypocrite because I got my tank in a crate as well, but I'm a YouTuber. Don't forget that. I'm making money out of that. I'm already rentabilizing the SU-130PM, and you are not. So be careful, don't gamble, and wait for the time to come back in the shop for gold, because it will. I guarantee you that.